Happy Sunday, guys. Happy Sunday. Welcome into the stream. My name is Billy Collins, and we're going to smash some bets for the next hour utilizing OddsJam software. We're going to make some money. So hopefully you guys are having an awesome Sunday thus far. Let's just get right into it. Let's go, 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 go. So over here on DFS, looking at some of the top plays over at PrizePicks. Then we'll bop over to Underdog Betr. How'd it go for you guys yesterday sports betting? How'd it go? I had a solid day. Not as much activity as maybe I would prefer, but it was a really solid day. And looking to just double up on that today. Made almost $900. And hopefully you guys were able to tail that 3-pick SGP we put together on FanDuel in that Commanders-Lions game, because that was nice, man. What a crazy game that Manders game was. They scored 52 points in the first half. I mean, the Chiefs game was good. Chiefs got a couple calls, in my opinion. Refs helping them out. But, you know, they're too strong. And the Texans kind of felt like showed their colors a little bit in just certain spots. They just weren't quite ready. I mean, it was a crazy start to that game. Opening kickoff, the Chiefs almost take it to the house. Texans defense holds, but just a couple too many mistakes by the Texans, and the Chiefs were rolling on. But I'm really excited for today's slate of games with the Rams and the Eagles, Ravens, Bills. We're going through PrizePicks right now, top 5 and 6 pick entries here, guys. So if you see any plays in green, this is absolutely go, go, go. And I don't mind if you want to throw a little these orange and yellow plays in here as well. But you have a lot of different options right now that you could choose between all of these plays. But we obviously want to go with maybe starting off at the top. Now, if you're not crazy about fantasy scores, that's fine. And if I change these minimum data points over here to 2, we're going to get some different options. Or it's just going to be maybe like a Josh Allen not to score a touchdown, under on his rushing attempts. I mean, I'm not really excited to fade Josh Allen when it comes to his rushing attempts. We always know that during the playoffs, he seemingly runs more. But these are some of the top plays that you could go after. Let me fly over to Underdog. And we're just going to kind of rotate, guys, between positive EV, middle betting, arbitrage betting, DFS. We're just going to be hitting up all these different books. And I'm just going to brain dump on you for the next hour and just share as much information that I can to try to help you guys out as sports bettors. As we're looking at Underdog, we're starting off with 6-pick entries with insurance. And, we got a ton of options over here as well. And I'm not even going to go with just any minimum data points at the moment. I'm just going to kind of quickly scroll. Now, guys, if you're not sure who I am, I live in Pennsylvania. My name is Billy. Hi. And I don't have access to the DFS book. So the best thing that I could do for you guys right here is just showcase to you some of the top plays. And typically, I love to stream on noon on Sundays because that's obviously when, it's an hour before kickoff. But the first game doesn't kick off till 3 o'clock. Still a great time that we're going to smash a lot of player prop bets. I'm not going to be looking to bet a lot of sides, totals, or money lines on the stream today, but it's going to be a heavy player prop focused. And then obviously with the NBA, we're going to be looking at some player props as well in the NHL. And if I change this over here to maybe a 3-pick entry with no insurance, we're going to get some different options right here. DFW, what's going on, brother? And I appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with me for the next hours. We're just going to kind of peruse and give you some sharp plays. Hopefully you guys can tail some stuff for free. And then if you're interested in maybe utilizing the tools at OddsJam, I'm just going to kind of go through how I like to attack it, how I like to make money. I might not be the most profitable person in the OddsJam community, but I do know how to make money. And I want to just share with you for free any wisdom that I can impart. Now, for better, we need 5 picks. Again, this is where you're going to have a difference of opinion, right? OddsJam's algorithm here, the question mark, doesn't show us 5 picks that we can go after. I don't like going after these plays in red. But if you're like Billy, every time Zach LaVine goes up against Portland, dude, he can never shoot. He's terrible against Portland. Well, then maybe you want to add this to your slip, right? If you have a difference of opinion on some of these dudes in red, then you can add them to your slip. But for me as a data-driven sports bettor, I don't see 5 options right here. Really, I just see 2 because I have to pick one of these with can't lay. And so I don't like it, so I'm moving on. And I'll come back over to Fliff and Rebet, but I'm going to hit a parlay play. We're going to look over at DraftKings Picks 6 first. A couple different books before we hit up Fliff and Rebet. So parlay play, guys. Derrick Henry to score a touchdown. That's like money in the bank. That's money in the bank every time. King Henry's getting in the end zone. If there's one thing we know, if it's inside the 5, dude's getting the rock, and he might break one off for 70 yards. Over on DraftKings Pick 6, we're looking at 2-pick entries with no insurance. So, again, you have a ton of different options. So if you're sitting here and you're going to hear me, it sounds like a broken record, but if you have $30 today that you're looking to place on DraftKings, You could go and put an entry on these top two guys with Diggins and Cole Anthony, but I would argue that you would want to take that $30, chop that up into maybe 6 different entries for $5, right? And just make a bunch of different combinations off of these plays. As we're seeing here, Mark Andrews is the lowest one right here that I'd go after. And then I'm kind of moving on. But a lot of good value over at on DraftKings. Let's take a look at Dabble. And then we'll head over to Sleeper. Again, just kind of bounce around. But let me know, guys, how'd it go for you yesterday? It was an awesome day. A lot of college hoops. Had some NBA. The UFC fights. I don't know if anyone caught the UFC fights yesterday. I'm going to mess up his name. Merab against Umar, dude. That fight was incredible. It was a great fight. Obviously, Islam choked the dude out in the last match within the first round, but Merab versus Umar, dude, that was a really, really good fight. Yeah, DFW. I know when Alex streams, all DFS, right? Because Alex is located in California. So it's a little bit different, right? I'm throwing you guys a huge curveball where I can bet on the DraftKings, the FanDuels, the Caesars, the BetMGMs of the world. So I'm happy to showcase to you guys all the DFS books, but I'm also going to be placing some straight bets, some parlay bets on some of the other, domestic books that you guys are accustomed to. So that's just because I'm located in Pennsylvania, and so I can provide some different stuff. But let's take a look at Fliff. We'll look at Rebet, and we'll see what we got cooking over at Fliff. I feel like yesterday I might have hit the bet on Fliff. Now, we're definitely going to look at ProfitX as well. How'd it go yesterday for me on Fliff, the plays? Yeah, we just hit on the Maxi play yesterday, but that was it. All right, so again, guys, when we're looking at this over at Fliff, this is where you can kind of pick and choose what you want. So maybe you want to, I like to go maybe to minus 150. You could take this to plus 150. Looks like there isn't much when it comes to the minus 150. So if I expand this out to minus 200, does that change anything? A little bit. We're looking at Jack Hughes to not score a goal. Pinnacle's at 190. FanDuel's at minus 195. I'm all right with that. We're going to fade Jack Hughes. So we're looking at the NHL. He plays for the Devils. Going up against Ottawa. And we're just going to come over here to player props, player goals. Fliff is one of the few sports books that offers the option for a player to not score a goal. So if you love the arbitrage bet, you can see this minus 155. OddsJam thinks that this price should be at minus 170, meaning that this Jack Hughes to not score a goal should be $170 if you're thinking of it like buying a stock. We could buy it for $155 at Fliff. Pinnacle thinks it should be $190, which they're a very sharp book. So for this play, I'm going to go ahead and throw $150 on this play at the moment. Maybe I'll go a little bit higher because it is 3.5% edge, so I'll go 200. And so there's our first Fliff play of the day with Jack Hughes under. Now, guys, something that I like to do with a lot of streams is I'm going to show you a lot of plays that you could tail. I might not bet a ton of plays myself, and that's just because maybe I'm explaining. I would much rather teach you guys how to fish and just teach you guys what I know so that you could take bits and pieces of it and add it to your own sports betting strategy yourself. If we kind of maybe remove all the odds here, if we clear everything out, we're going to get a lot more options here. So this, though, is really just Fliff and Bet Rivers. They're the only two books that have odds for any of these NBA spreads with the Spurs, the Clippers. So, again, this is just going to be your opinion. For me, I want more sports books opinions before I just go ahead and place the bet at Spurs at plus 11. But if you're like, yo, dude, I mean, it looks really good at minus 390. It's a little also juicy for me in general. I normally I cap out at like minus 200, maybe minus 250. But there's a lot of really good options right here if you guys wanted to go after this. I just have more confidence when I see more sports books odds posted up here, right? So that's what I really prefer. Let's head over to Rebet. We'll take a look and see what Rebet's got going on. Larry, I know exactly what you mean, man. Know exactly what you mean. I'm going to be heading down to see my dad in Florida, and I think they got Fliff. They have Hard Rock for the books. I know they have Dabble for DFS. But I think like for domestic U.S. books, like Florida's still quite behind. I'm sure they have maybe a bit more than Georgia, but yeah, it's definitely tough. Very fortunate where I live in PA. I would say the top three states that offer the most sports books in no particular order are Colorado, Iowa, and North Carolina. I feel like those three are like the top 3 states. And then I would say maybe New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Arizona, maybe Illinois. Illinois is not bad. Maybe, I don't know about Tennessee, but those would be some of like the top states that I feel that are out there. Let me make sure I got through a lot of books. Let's take a look at thrills for a second. If anyone uses thrills, then we'll look at NoVig and we'll look at ProfitX from over here. Yeah, everything right now in thrills that has an edge is super, super juicy, like minus 2,500. And not so crazy about that. And I'm looking outside right now. Snow's coming down here in western Pennsylvania. I am so happy that I'm just snuggled like a bug in a rug right here inside my house, just placing some bets betting. Let's look at ProfitX. So got a lot of options right here on ProfitX right now at the moment. But if the top play would be Jalen Hurts over 195 passing yards. Again, it's just BetMGM, though, that's offering their opinion on this play. So it's not a bad play. OddsJam likes it. But for me, again, guys, I'm a little picky, right? So I'm not as in on this. But maybe I would be a bit more in on maybe a Damian Lillard under on points. It's minus 110 at Pinnacle. I would love to see FanDuel's odds. Now, this game's not till 7. Still, for me, it's early to bet some NBA player props, but I can start to get behind it. But you can see this is a great price over at ProfitX. So let me go ahead and pull this up over at ProfitX, and we'll throw something down on Dame. Because it's over 3% edge, and I like seeing something that has a 3% edge. As we're looking at the Bucks, they're taking on the Sixers today, and we're looking at under 23.5 at plus 113. So let's go over to player points. And let's see what we got. Let me move my head down here to the bottom. Let's go here. Let's go. Where's Dame at? Under 23. Yeah, so this is a request situation where we can actually, so there isn't any liquidity out here on ProfitX. And remember, guys, if you're new to ProfitX or NoVig, these are exchanges. You'll never get limited on these books. You can make millions of dollars on your personal account. You'll never get limited. So here, I can actually maybe request or create my own bet. There's no guarantee that it's going to be accepted, but we can. So instead of me taking odds, let me go back over the optimizer here, at plus 113, I'm going to up this just a bit. I'm thinking either 120. Let's go with 115, okay? Let's go plus, so let's go $200, and I'm going to put this at plus 115, okay? And again, there's no guarantee that it'll get accepted, but that's all right. We'll put it out there. I know if someone does accept the over on his points, I'm going to be getting a good price at plus 115. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right here is, this is the beauty. And guys, if you're like, yo, dude, why didn't you put this at plus 150? You can. Like anytime that you see a request like Paul George over under on his points right here at 20.5, you can make up any number that you want. And who knows, you might get someone that accepts that bet. So that's what I love about ProfitX and NoVig is you can create your own wagers and create your own odds. So I'll just change this to 115. And guys, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but if you guys are serious about making money sports betting, you have to track your bets. Opening up your DraftKings account, looking at what's open and what's settled as your bets isn't a bet tracker, right? So I've been using OddsJam's bet tracker for 3.5 years. I love it. By far my favorite. We'll look at NoVig here. So definitely check it out. It's free. And just start getting the habit of tracking your bets. It's really nice to see your profit and loss, what markets you're crushing it with, which sports books you're killing it with. I also use Pickett. I'm a big fan of Pickett. Automatically syncs up to any bets that I place. This ProfitX bet that we just placed, it's going to automatically sync over to my Pickett, and we're good to go. Yeah, so here I might be a little bit more in on Saquon under on his rushing attempts. I'm not maybe against Derrick Henry on his receiving yards, but I just like the fact that there's a lot of sports books offering their odds right here. Everybody outside of BetOnline has this as a minus or basically slight favorite or maybe a slight underdog. Just depends on who we look at. But we're getting this at plus 108 odds over at NoVig. So I'm going to pull this up on my phone to take a look at if there's any liquidity right now with Saquon. We're looking at his under on his rushing attempts. A little weird to see this as a 3 o'clock game. Not going to lie. Just not quite used to it. So under 22.5 at plus 108. Yeah, there's about $490 on this play right now. So I'm going to leave you guys some liquidity out there. You can see the under 22.5. We're on the take side. I'm going to throw this in for $200. And then there's going to be $280 out there if you guys want it. We're on Saquon under 22.5 at plus 108 odds. So make sure you click on the 22.5 because there are odds out there for 21.5. So just go to 22.5 and then the under, and you'll get this at a good price at plus 108. So there we are. Now, obviously, and I'm going to track this as well. So we're automatically in for that play. A little bit different there. If we would have went over to the make side on NoVig, we would have been able to create a wager ourselves, right? If we wanted to create a bet for plus 140 odds on Saquon under, we could. There's just really no guarantee that someone's going to accept it. All right, we're over here. Pop over now to the arbitrage tool, and I'll come back to the PrizePicks, Underdog, Betr, Parlay, Play, all the DFS books, guys. I'll be back over there here in a little bit. Looking to see if we can lock in any risk-free profit. And, I live in Pennsylvania, so Bet365 is a book that you can just have a field day with when it comes to arbitrage betting. Same with any kind of Canby sports book, Ballybet, Bet Rivers, Sugar House, Bet Parks, Unibet, great here. Again, you could arb this, right? I could go over. I just bet the under 200 on Saquon. I could go ahead. If I threw this in on the arbitrage tool saying, I just bet this at 200. If I bet 210 over on Bet Rivers, I could arb this out for $1, for 1.92% return off this $410 investment, and I can make $6 to $10. I'm not going to do that. I really like it. I'm just going to let it ride, but we could do that. Some of these arbs, guys, obviously, this is where you're going to figure out if you want to go after plays that are below 2% return or not. Some people are like, dude, I just want the juicy arbs. I want to make a bunch of cash. Other guys and gals are like, I don't care. I just want to grind out. I want to grab all of this and just make as much money as I possibly can and gobble it up. So on Lamar, on his passing yards between no vig and BetMGM, anytime the plus number is bigger than the minus number, that's a guaranteed arbitrage situation. The bigger the gap between these two numbers, right? If this was like a plus 160 to a minus 115, that's a massive arb. We can make a ton of dough. Here, it's just under 2%. So no matter if you have $185 or you have $330, you're going to make a 1.87% return. But the cool part is this game's going to take like 3 hours to play, and then you're going to receive your investment back, your staked amount, plus the return that you got, and then you're going to be able to reinvest that again into the market. So that's kind of the power of it. So let me take a look at Lamar over. I'm going to go over this Ravens game because I would love to put together an actual arbitrage. I'm looking at his passing yards. We're looking at what? Over 218. This is at 124. Yeah, so there's about $2,000 out there right now, which I really love. So what I'm going to do is tee up BetMGM. I'm going to log in over here on my other screen, and then I'm going to utilize the one-click bet feature. And I'm not going to go ham on this one. I'm just going to have a little bit of exposure to this. All right, we're in there. That's beautiful. Let's tee this up with the one-click bet feature at minus 115 odds. Now, when it comes to player props, guys, I usually like to keep my bets under $300. Right? So I'm not going to make me have it all, but you can see that one-click bet feature automatically pulls it up. I want to make sure I double-check this. I'm double-checking this over here. It looks like, it looks like that Lamar play. Yeah, so this is actually a middle opportunity. I totally forgot about this as well. So this is a middle opportunity and an arb, which is going to be sick. So maybe I'll go 230, right, to try to make $200. See if they'll accept that wager. And then I'll throw this in for 190. All right. So what we're going to do is this is not just only an arbitrage opportunity, but it's also a middle opportunity. So we're going to throw this in at the under for $230. We're in. Beautiful. You can see that. We're in. Hell yeah. And then for $190, I'm going to take the over 218.5. As you can see, I got the over 218.5 plus 124. Bingo. This is a middle opportunity, guys. If Lamar somehow throws for 219 or 220 passing yards, we're going to win both bets. Okay? This is middle betting, which is unreal. So over on the OddsJam arbitrage tool, they have this where you can see it's a middle, right? So if Lamar throws for 150 passing yards, then we're going to win the bet on MGM, lose it on no vig, make about $7, almost $8. If he throws for 300 yards, we win the bet on no vig, lose it on MGM, make almost $8. But if he throws exactly for 219 or 220, we're going to win both bets. So that's what's so sick about middle betting is it gives you an opportunity for a window that you can actually win both bets. But no matter what happens, we're making money, right? And that's what we love about it. Among Us, the fattest arb that I ever landed. What's going on, Greg? Tail it straight. There we go. The fattest arb. Well, any fat arb that I got, I mean live betting, Greg, I've gotten like 25, 30% arbs on live betting. But any pregame arbs, anything pretty much above 10%, I would say I've gotten the attention of the sports books where it's an air. So, my ARBs for pregame are always going to live under 10% because anything above 10% is typically a mistake made by the sports books. And that's just going to get you're just going to get noticed a lot quicker by the books. But for live betting, bro, you could get 30, 40, 50% ARBs on live betting. That's just because things are moving so fast. So you would say, well, dude, this isn't like that great of an ARB. Yeah, but we actually have a chance to win both bets here. So that's why I'm in on this a bit more. And that's what the cool thing is about arbitrage and middle betting. We also have a middles tool where you could just set up your notifications and you can automatically find it. You can see this is the top play for it. If you wanted to go with this 217 to 220, you want to widen the gap a little bit on no vig, you could do that as well, add an extra yard. Or in some cases like Virginia, NC State, women's basketball, if North Carolina State wins by 17 points exactly, you're going to win this bet on MGM and Bet Rivers. So highly implore you guys using middle betting. I understand that 0.89% isn't much, but you actually have a chance to win both bets. And you'd be surprised sometimes it can happen. So that's what I'm all about. But yeah, I mean, or among us, like you can have an example where maybe you live bet the Bills money line just straight up in the first quarter, right? And you get them at like plus 105, right? And then all of a sudden the Bills are up 17-0 after the third quarter, or maybe they're up like 17-7 going into like the fourth quarter. You could bet the Ravens on the other side at maybe like plus 300, and you could just have a fat ARB right there, right? Like you could always, so if you're like, hey man, I don't know, it's 17-10. I'm a little nervous with this Ravens game. I got the Bills on the money line, like they're about to punt. Maybe I go bet the Ravens on the money line at plus 250, and we just like make guaranteed cash no matter what. Like you can create arbitrage plays if you're just live betting straight bets too. So there's a couple different ways you can go about it. You don't always have to just utilize the arbitrage tool. So it's an effective way that I like to make sure that I ensure profits. If I'm taking a bet one side, I get a great price, then I go ahead and do it. So it's sometimes you're going to find these sports books when you're betting live too, they get really out of sync with each other, and you can easily catch them with great ARBs. So pregame arbitrage betting is how I started. If you guys get into live betting, things are going to move fast, but just, kind of focus in. What I love to do on live betting is I'm just like watching the Rams-Eagles game. That's the only thing that I'm worried about live betting. And maybe I'm just going to bet moneyline spreads and totals on the Eagles game. I'm not going to focus on any other markets. And then it gets a bit easier. It gets a little easier. I make sure I'm logged into all of my sports books, and we're just kind of going after it that way. So that's just some, top tips that I like to go after when it comes to live betting. So we're looking over here at like plus EV. I want to share with you guys my filters, my setup. It changes on day to day, but it stays within the same parameters. It changes from a 150 to 175. The highest I goes to 200. I leave the minimum odds completely blank. Percentage just depends on the markets. If it's main markets, moneyline, spreads, totals. I'll drop this down to 1.5%, maybe 2%. Player props, I like to maybe go a bit higher. I like to go maybe 4 or 5% when it comes to player props. We got all the markets selected here. Sports and leagues, everything is selected to the all position. I'm looking at bets for today. Markowitz at 50. Sometimes I drop it to 40. Sometimes I drop it to 30. It just kind of depends. DVIG settings, we're going to go over to OddsJam's recommended book weights. I'm using the power default DVIG method, right? So now you guys know my setup, right? This is where we're going to just go after these plays. If you're a Bet365 user, you want to put together a 5-leg parlay, be my guest. You can go after it right here if you want. Totally cool with that. Looks like there might be some value in this women's game on West Virginia, Iowa State, the under 137.5. From OddsJam, BetOnline sees this at maybe minus 115. If I wanted to take a deeper look into this, we could. Let me also take a look at Kyron Williams, over 13.5 receiving yards. FanDuel's at minus 110. This looks to be a really good play on no vig. So before I hit up that women's college basketball game, I'll take a look over here for Kyron. Dude gets a lot of run. He's low-key, maybe their MVP outside, maybe a Puka. We're looking at 13.5 at plus 110. Okay, I'm going to be a bad guy here, but there's $114, right? 114, so I'm going to take all 114 here because I'm that guy. I scooped it up. Sometimes a play's too good. Let's see if we get it. Not sure if we're going to get it. If there was, I wish there would be like $1,000 out there. This is taking a minute, by the way, for this to go through. I mean, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. If it ain't going through, I'll let you know if it does. If it doesn't, then I'll tell you so you can go after it. But it's taking a bit longer than I thought with no vig. I'll throw this in here at 114, but that's just it's too good of a price. It's just set way too high. Order placed, matched, and canceled. All right, so I got it for $79. I got it for $79.26 is what my phone's telling me, which is fine. So that means someone else got a part of it, which is totally cool. But we got a really good price over there on Kyron. Now, for this women's college basketball game, sometimes, guys, what I like to do is I like to open up the event page, and I want to see where some of the other sports books have this priced. Right? We're looking here at the under 137.5, and you can see that a lot of books have this at like 138, 139, 140, and we're just getting an insane price over at Sugar House. So I'm going to go ahead and tee this up over at Sugar House. Now, OddsJam's telling me to wager $400. I'm probably going to wager $200. I don't bet a lot of women's college basketball, and so this is, even though it's hoops, it's a little bit of a different sport in my opinion, but we're going to go ahead and go after it a bit. So this is West Virginia and what I think was Iowa State. Looking at the women's game. So the main line here is 140.5. I could go after the 140.5 if I wanted to, or I could drop this down to 137.5. It kind of depends, right? Because in my opinion, when I look at this game, like this is really good. If I wanted to take the main line, I could. So I might do that instead. I'm not against the under 137.5. It's a great price. This seems to be like, even though more incredible, because I'm getting a couple extra points, and it's a little bit easier to hit. And I don't care about this mystery prize, dude. I don't care. Get off my screen. You're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Yeah, we'll activate it now. Sounds good. All right, so we're going to take the main line here, and I'm going to go a little bit higher, but I'm going to throw a $300 wager on this play, and we'll see if they accept it. I don't know if they will. We're going to find out. And so, yeah, there it is. So we're in for $300 on this under on Iowa State and West Virginia. Now, if I wanted to go back to the well and bet this again, I could over at under 137.5. But if I see that they're at minus 114, I can guarantee this is massive EV to bet online because it's 3-point difference and I'm getting a great price. So we're in on this under, which is just a little bit easier to hit at under 140.5. Again, guys, this is different options that you can choose, right? You can go after the under 137.5. I'm cool with it, but I'm going to take the easy. I'm going to take an extra 3 points and still get a good price on this. Dan, what's going on, man? And for any OGs and DGens that are here right now, guys, just so you know, tomorrow morning stream, I'll announce all the winners for my Anytime Touchdown giveaways. So we hit both of them yesterday. So I'm giving away $100. That's on my YouTube channel where I give away $100 to for each game. If we would vote for the top vote getter. If they score a touchdown, I give away cash. So I'll announce those winners, guys, tomorrow morning on the stream on my channel. So let's go back over the EV tool and let's take a look and see what else we got going on. So this is just using OddsJam's formula right now, guys, and this is anything for 5% or higher. So maybe we're looking at Lamar. If you guys want to take a look at maybe an SGP, if you guys use Bet365, not much there, but look at James Cook under 12.5 rushing attempts. FanDuel's at minus 102. This is, again, a really high price over at no vig. And this is, you can't quite arbit to Caesars, but it looks pretty decent. Let me take a look at this Bills game, the rushing attempts. So James Cook has lines at 12.5, 13.5, 14.5. There's about $62 available in this market. If you guys want it, I'm not going to take it. You guys can have it. It's $62 and change. I'm just going to leave it there, but it is a good price. Right, so now if maybe we wanted to lower our settings a little bit more, and we're going to head back over here in just a bit over to the DFS optimizer for PrizePicks, Underdog, Betr. And we're still utilizing OddsJam's formula. Saquon to not score a touchdown in this Rams-Eagles game. Dude, Saquon's like the MVP of the league, other than maybe Lamar or Josh Allen. But we're getting a great price over at ProfitX. This isn't quite an ARB to Pinnacle, but to Circa, this is a low hold. Meaning if I wagered $165 on Circa for Saquon to score a touchdown, I wagered $100 on ProfitX for him not to score, we're not going to win or lose any money. So sometimes it's like this, a low hold isn't a bad idea. I would also argue that him to score a touchdown at DraftKings, to Pinnacle, this is very good. So this one sometimes gets me a little conflicted. Not going to lie. I'm not like, I want to bet this, but I don't know how I feel about it. Pinnacle's kind of just chilling here. As we open up the odds graph, I do use the Platinum plan, guys, on OddsJam. If you want to try a 1-week free trial, make sure you ask them to try the Platinum plan out. It's awesome. You get all the bells and whistles. You'll get it 1 week for free. Test it out. Circa kind of jumped way up, then retreated back to its original position. And now ProfitX now is at plus 155 because someone scooped up the plus 165. So I'm not in on this as much anymore because if I change this price to 155, according to OddsJam's formula, it's still EV, but it's about 2.64%. I'm just not as in on it anymore. I'm going to say I'm just going to walk away from this one. We talked about the James Cook play. Again, any play that maybe I don't talk about right here, if you want to go after it, I'm totally cool with it, though. I don't usually bet a lot of third quarter total points like over at SportsZeno. On Fanatics, guys, Lamar to throw 2 passing touchdowns. I like this play a lot. He's been balling out, but looks like the price just changed. It went from plus 105 to minus 105. So not quite as much plus EV now at the moment. If we scroll down a bit more, maybe on MGM, Keldon Johnson, I could take a look at this. I like going after FanDuel when it comes to NHL player prop bets. I love this. Stafford over at Bet Openly. Okay, we got some more women's college basketball. If you're like, yo, Billy, can I pair the Oklahoma spread with Jamal Murray? Yes, you can. You could play it as a 2-leg parlay. You want to find a third play and play it as a round robin. That's cool with me. But let me see which one we want to go after first. Let me take this Drake Batherson play. This game starts in about 30 minutes. And compared to Pinnacle, this is fantastic. Let me jump into this play a little bit more and just see where the movement's going. So FanDuel's kind of moving up a little bit, kind of just jumping all over the place. BetOnline just set it and forget it. And Pinnacle dropped down about 9-10 hours ago. So I don't mind having a little bit of exposure to this play over on FanDuel. I'm not going to go 220. I might just throw $100 on this play. Let me go ahead and log into my FanDuel over here on my other screen, and then we'll get this thing teed up. Skunky, what's going on, bro? Happy Sunday to you, brother. Hope you're having a solid day, my friend. Hopefully you guys are relaxing today, kicking your feet up, having a couple cold beverages, watching some football, watching some basketball, a little hockey. All right, so the one-click bet feature on Batherson to get an assist in today's game. Senators, Devils. I like going after this sometimes when it comes to FanDuel and player props. I don't mind this. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and throw $100 on this. They're telling me to wager 200. I want some exposure to this. Maybe I'm underbetting my edge a bit, but I see the Pinnacle's really sharp on this, but I'm looking at the movement. It's a bit different. I want some, and I'm okay with this. So we're in for $100 over on Batherson to get an assist, and instead of 220, we'll go for 100. All right, let me go back over the optimizer. Let's take a look at some of the DFS books, PrizePicks, Underdog, and we'll see what we look. So we're going to start off with PrizePicks and start off on the top 5 and 6 pick entries right here, guys. Again, if you're in on fantasy scores, we got a lot of fantasy scores right here on PrizePicks. If you're not crazy about fantasy scores, then just start with Josh Allen. And we can kind of just work our way down here. James Cook, Svetlana, maybe Shaden Sharp, Jonathan, Shaden Sharp and Isaac, those are fantasy scores. Maybe Flay. But I'm just going to kind of slowly scroll so that you guys can see some of the top plays if you want to go after it. Satya says $68,000 worth of liquidity on LeBron to score 10-plus points on ProfitX. Should I get in? What do you think? Should we get in on LeBron to score 10 points? There's $68K out there. Gotta love that. Ken G, what's going on, man? Ken, yeah, it was all right for me. I only got in 18 bets yesterday. I did do a bit of live betting that worked out well. Hit both unders in the Texans game. Ended up making around almost $900. It was a good day yesterday. Satya, I appreciate you texting me yesterday, man. Let me know about that, or DMing me about that, the SGP that we put together on FanDuel in the Commanders-Lions game. We built that. It cashed for us. Terry McLaurin scored a touchdown. Amon-Ra had over 80 receiving yards, and Eckler had 25 receiving yards or more. It was almost a first-half cash. So that was nice to see. We built that on the stream. That was a fun one. But yeah, it was a good day for me yesterday. And looking to, I'll probably, after the stream ends, I'll probably just chill for a little bit And then I'll get back I'll do some live betting on the Rams-Eagles game and do some live betting on the Ravens-Bills game as well. Kind of focusing on that. Maybe sprinkle in a couple NBA plays once the games start later tonight. But excited to watch some football, even though my Steelers got trounced by the Ravens. We're looking at underdog 6-pick entries. I'm not going to switch this over, guys, to 3-pick entries because this whole entire screen, OddsJam's recommendations would go red. So this is really the best for 6-pick entries at the moment for underdog. But yeah, it was a good day yesterday. Hopefully, Ken, you got yourself continue to stay in the green, bro. But let me know how it went for you. That's the first parlay that was sweat-free for me, in my opinion. Yeah, it was. First time in a while where, obviously I bet the under yesterday in that Lions game. And that's sports betting sometimes, guys. 52 points in the first quarter. I had the under 55.5, and I'm like, well, that's toast. But at least I had a little consolation prize hitting that SGP and getting a nice little boost. So if you guys want to see that, that's later. Yesterday's stream on OddsJam, towards the end of the stream, we built that. If you want to see exactly how, what we look for was just the top 3 plays on the EV tool. We just clicked, add them all, put the boost on top of it, and we cashed. We'll come back over to Fliff and Rebet. We're just going to bounce over to Parlay Play, DraftKings Pick 6, Sleeper. Parlay Play kind of increased a little bit now. We saw this Derrick Henry play to score a touchdown was better, but now we got Duncan Robinson, Jaime Jaquez, Jalen Hurts. So, okay. We got some options there. Yeah, Matt, that's just kind of all. It just depends on, what you're using it for. I understand, this is a tool that's separate on its own. This is a great tool if you're living in California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, where maybe sports betting isn't quite legalized yet, but you can utilize the DFS books. You can see earlier in the stream, guys, DraftKings Pick 6, we had a ton of value. That's all gone. See ya. But, it's, I think it's $65 a month for the optimizer. And so if you do live in one of those states that maybe sports betting isn't quite legal yet, I think it's fantastic. We're going to look at Dabble right now. 5-pick entries over at Dabble. If I switch this to 3-pick entries on Dabble, I would say, there's not going to be much value. It's just going to be Simmons, Russell, and Henry that are going to maybe be the top plays. All these plays in the yellow or orange for 3-pick entries are going to go away. But there is some solid value on here if you're looking to make 5-pick no insurance plays. Interested on that. If you guys are enjoying the stream, you're not completely annoyed, stop by tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's MLK Day. I'm still going to be betting tomorrow morning, and then I will be back on the OddsJam channel tomorrow, guys, at 6 p.m. Eastern. Massive NBA slate tomorrow. Let's take a look at maybe Sleeper and then Thrills. Massive NBA slate tomorrow. We got a lot of bets to get down. Also, guys, when this Eagles game ends today, okay, just so you guys are aware of this, and I'm going to pause for 1 second. I'm going to go over to the EV tool. I'm going to go to the sportsbook screen. This is something that I love to do. When the Eagles game ends, we're obviously going to know it's going to be either Commanders-Eagles or Commanders-Rams for the NFC Championship game. I will come over to the sportsbook screen, or you can pull the game up on OddsJam, and I'll start to look at 4 o'clock this afternoon, or whenever the game ends, 6 o'clock, 6:30 this afternoon. I'll start looking at moneyline spreads and totals for the NFC Championship game. I'll start looking at where's their value, looking at Pinnacle, looking at the recreational books. Can I find some value? If the over-under for total points is maybe at 45.5, can I find a book that's sitting at 47.5 or 43.5? Can I find a 2-point, 3-point gap when these books first set their lines, right? Or maybe a 1.5. So when that game ends at 6:30, I'm looking at the NFC Championship game odds. When the Ravens game ends tonight, okay, at 11 o'clock, either tonight or tomorrow morning, on my stream tomorrow morning, I'm looking at both these conference championship games, looking to place bets. When I place bets on the NFL for moneyline spreads and totals, it's at the very beginning of the week. So just want you guys to be aware of that. When that Rams game ends today, start looking for that value in that Commanders game for next Sunday. That's when I start to look for plays. All right, let's see what we got let's go over to Thrills, and then we'll take a look at Vivid Picks as well. I want to make sure I give Vivid Picks a moment. Yeah, Thrills is just too juicy for me. If you guys want to bet these are some soccer plays on some unders. I'm cool with it, but I just, it's a low EV percentage, and you got to put up a bunch of money just to get something back. I don't know. Maybe I'm more interested in betting LeBron to get 10 points, but not so much that. Jay Mossbag, yeah, they're ruining the page, man. Hey, man, I'll let you know, bro. I'll let you know when Alex is back. Appreciate the kind words, brother. Vivid picks, 5 pick entries, no insurance. Yeah, no, we just got 3 picks right now. So I'm not as interested in it at the moment. Not cool with it. Yeah. All right, so let's go over to Fliff. Let's take a look at Rebet. So over on Fliff, we're looking at some of the plays right here. Let me pull this up. Let's go maybe minus 200. Maybe I'll throw this in at maybe plus 150. Kind of give it a little bit of a range. Looks like there's not maybe as much. Yeah, there's a couple plays out there. So we already hit this Jack Hughes play up earlier for player goals. First quarter total points in that Ravens-Bills game. The under 10.5. That's a key number. 10.5 is a very important number. Pinnacle season at minus 183. I want a little bit of that. Yes, please. So if this was like under 9.5, I'm not as interested, but this is a good number at 10.5. So let's go over to quarters. First quarter total score. It's at minus 160. Yeah, okay. All right. It's a little bit juicy. I'll go 250 on this one. All right, so we're in for the under 10.5 on the Ravens-Bills game. And because Pinnacle's odds were out there, that's what gave me a lot of confidence. That's why I really like it so much. It's just a good price compared to Fliff. So we're in for 250, throwing this in at the under 10.5. So as long as we don't have 2 touchdowns, be in good shape. We'll be all right. Let's pop over to Rebet. Let's take a look at Rebet. All right. Rebet right here. Yeah, small edge, slight edge. Not much. There's some pretty juicy stuff. Rams plus 11. So like Rams plus 11, I don't get as excited about, but plus 17 is a very key number, but it's obviously super juicy. Plus 11, yeah, I mean, it's better. I mean, as long as it's above plus 10.5, I guess I'm okay with it. This Rice, Florida Atlantic play, though, we just have Bet Rivers and Rebet really offering their odds right now. So that's pretty much it. Not like super excited about it, but it's okay. Let me see if we drop into Rebet Prop City. If we take a look at Prop City, what's going on over here? Oh, we got a lot going on. Oh, baby. It's a shame that I'm so limited on Rebet, but if I wasn't, I would just absolutely have a field day right now looking at this. Or sometimes I'm looking at maybe if Pinnacle and FanDuel's odds are up here, especially like I mentioned, guys, for NBA. But outside of that, I mean, the most books that are offering the odds on this are Derrick Henry under 1.5 receptions. It's juicy, but it's delicious. It looks like we're just getting an awesome price over at Rebet Prop City. We got this over here where we're getting a lot of just really, really good plays. Really good stuff. Woo-hoo-hoo, I like this. Oh, man, hopefully you guys were able to tail some of this. And again, if you want to put these in 2-leg parlays for the top 2 plays, you want to rock a 3, 4, 5-leg parlay. Again, it all depends on, choose your own adventure, your risk tolerance. Some people are a little more conservative. Some are more aggressive. It just whatever depends on what you prefer. But we have a lot of different options right here that I could really get down on. I like this a lot. Okay, let me hop over. Let's go back and again, guys, if you're not sure, like with PrizePicks and Underdog, the middles tool at OddsJam is a tool that when I was out in Arizona, I love to use it. When I move back out there, I will be utilizing it for PrizePicks and Underdog. But like for maybe you're saying like with Parlay, we're teed up on PrizePicks right now at the moment. And what we're just looking to do is like, all right, with Dabble, Tyler Hero over under 9 and 10. Well, obviously 3-pointers attempted, right? If he hits 9, this pushes, but this wins on Dabble. If he hits 10, this pushes, but wins on PrizePicks. So what you're really looking to do here is just pair up, maybe this play with, with maybe Saquon, and you're just kind of scrolling through to maybe make a 5 or 6 pick entry, 5-pick entry on Dabble, 5-pick entry on PrizePicks. And the idea is like with Jimmy Butler field goals attempted, if he lands on 11, you're going to cash both plays. If he lands on 12, you win PrizePicks, you push on Dabble. Right, so that's kind of the idea behind this is when you're using the middle tool is you're kind of finding where these sports books are just really misaligned with their pricing or setting their lines in general, not just their prices, but just the lines. And you can kind of pick these guys off, right? If you're rocking maybe a DraftKings, again, whatever sports book that you want to utilize here, guys, you could just click on whoever you want, and it's going to be able to just show you right now where you're going to be able to make some slips, where you're going to make 2 slips on 2 different books, right? 1 slip on one slip on the other, and then you're really just looking to take advantage of those inefficiencies with those sports books. That's what we're hoping to find. So let's go back over to let me take a look at where the hell's we're on the sportsbook screen. Let's go back over the EV tool. Yeah, C. Smith, I mean, the best I could do for you, bro, is just show you it because I live in Pennsylvania, so I can't create any slips. I can't create a slip and then share the link with you. So the best that I can do is just kind of show you the top plays that you want to go after right now, and then you guys can go ahead and tail it. That's the best that I can do. I mean, I can log into Underdog and show you my Underdog, but they're going to tell me that my location's not in a state that's legal, and they're not going to let me create anything. Same with PrizePicks. So we're pulling this up right here. Let me take a look. Let's take a look. Markets. Let me switch this over to the DVIG settings, and we're going to pull this up right now with Pinnacle, going over the power default method, and then I have all the markets teed up right now. And so here's some different plays. Again, if you guys see this on Underdog, like you can put Zabinajad over on his points and throw this in a slip if you want to. But for Bet365, Sportzino, Bills, I'm totally cool with this. Again, if you see a bunch of books showing up here with 365, you could throw these all in a 3-leg parlay. You want to put this in a 2x3 round robin, I'm cool with that. DraftKings right here with like Duncan Robinson and Kobe White. I'm severely limited on my DraftKings. Martinez, not a bad play here too, guys, on Underdog if you wanted to rock this in a 3-pick entry. Let me see, though, if we can find a couple plays. Maybe I can find one here. We'll do a Koulibaly Wyatt Johnston because I can do this over on Sugar House. I know that. So looking at the Red Wings and the Stars, over 2.5 shots on goal for Wyatt Johnston. He's a stud for Dallas. Waiting for this to pull up because I just want to take a look at the odds graph really quick. If it's going to load, man, it might not load. Having a great time with this. Come on, dude. Let's go. All right, there we go. So you can see, like, we're getting the best price possible. Pinnacle's a 149, 132, minus 114. Yeah, I mean, Bet Openly is the only other book that's made me offering a good price here. But if I click into this a bit more and just see where the chart is, you can see that Bet Rivers, I mean, Pinnacle dropped significantly in their price over the last 10 hours. FanDuel's kind of just chilling here, but Bet Rivers just has this price much higher. It's just they're way above where everyone else is. So this is definitely something that I want to add. So over here, so I got logged out. And guys, if you see, you have any questions at all with sports betting, you want to DM me, email me, I respond to everybody. Don't be afraid to utilize me as a resource, right? I know what it's like when you're starting out sports betting. You got a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions with these tools. You're not really sure what to use, where to go. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I'm happy to help any way that I can. So player shots on goal, we're looking at Wyatt Johnston. I just got to scroll down a bit. We're on the over 2.5. And then I'm going to grab this play. And so what I'm going to do is add this right here on my parlay bet tracker. And then for Koulibaly, over 11.5 points. Pinnacle's at minus 128. We're getting this at even money. Again, we're just getting a great price over at Sugar House Bet Rivers compared to everybody else. If I wanted to jump into this just to take a look to see, like, if am I looking for something similar? Looks like it dropped down in price a little bit. It was at 105. Bookmakers just kind of set their line at minus 115. They're a very sharp book. Same with Bet Online. Pinnacle, Bet Rivers is just far off from my other 3 sharp sports books. So Koulibaly over 11.5 points in the Wizards game tonight. And so we're going to throw this in a little 2-leg parlay. I'm not sure what the max bet they're going to let me put this at, but we'll find out. And I'll just come down here to points. Bingo. We're looking at over 11.5, right? And so I'll try to throw 250 on this. We'll see if it works. No, so the max they'll let me put is $169.25. I'm not going to push this through to a trader review. I don't want the trader looking at my activity. So all I'm going to do is just drop this down to 169 and say thank you. And that's it. I'll take a little screenshot for my record-keeping purposes. And then over here on the EV tool, I'm just going to add this over. And then up here in the top right-hand corner, this is how you can add it to your bet tracker. So I'll move myself down, come over here. Bingo. Right here, you see we're getting the best price possible for 169. I'm getting paid out the most at any Canby Sportsbook. I mean, if I played this over at ESPN Bet, I'm going to get paid out $571. I'm going to get paid out $633 just playing this at the right book. So that's the power of when we're putting together these parlays and putting together these plays in general, getting the best price possible and making sure that we go to a book that's going to give us the highest payout. That's really a big difference. And that's how I love to build parlays. We could have made a 4 or 5-leg parlay. I love rocking 2-leg parlays, some of my favorites. Let me scroll down here a little bit, and we'll get off these plays and jump into some others. If you guys use Fanatics, Christian Brown over 15.5 points, rebounds, and assists. We got Dame over on assists, Keldon Johnson over on rebounds. If you wanted to rock this over at FanDuel, you want to play these straights, 2-leg parlays, cool with me. Sabonis over on his points over at MGM. And again, this game's not till 9 o'clock, but this is fantastic compared to Pinnacle. Naturally, we're de-vigging to them. But, I mean, not bad over at Fliff. Now, using Pinnacle as the fair, no-vig fair odds, this should be almost minus 134. Anything below minus 134, Sportzino, Fliff, MGM, you could play this, no doubt. This isn't quite an ARB to Pinnacle. Would love to see this as an ARB, but not quite there yet. But I'll definitely maybe jump into this just to take a look at where the lines are set. So MGM was up here. They dropped down a bit. Pinnacle's kind of moving down now a little bit as well. So I like that. I can get behind that. So let me make sure that I'm logged into MGM. Probably not. I got to relog back in. And I'll go ahead and tee this up, and we'll get it going. All right. Daniel, what's going on, brother? Hope you're having a good day, man. Good to hear from you, bro. All right, so we're looking at Sabonis over 18.5 points at minus 120. Let me utilize the one-click bet feature. Looks like I still got that Lamar play in there. Dude, what do you mean the bet's not available? It's available, dude. And the hardest thing about MGM that drives me bonkers is this gold spinny wheel that takes 9 years for it to throw up the bet. So we're just going to move back over here because I know that's going to take a fat minute, and I'm not interested in wasting everyone's time. Ben Simmons over at No Vig maybe on his rebounds over 5.5. And we're just kind of looking at some player props. Looks like the price just changed. At FanDuel, it's minus 110. And this is one that maybe I'd stay away from because even though Pinnacle sees it at minus 138, I do put a lot of respect on FanDuel's name when it comes to NBA player props. So it moved to minus 112. I'm not as interested in this play as now. And if you were, you could get the better price over at FanDuel compared to anyone else. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, I'll be on my personal channel tomorrow at 9 a.m. And I will be back on the OddsJam channel tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. So come by, hang out, stop by. We'll grab some picks, smash some bets. We'll talk about how much money that we made betting on sports today. It's going to be a great time. Calcaterra over on receiving yards just to basically get one receiving yard. We could rock, I kind of want to rock a 3-leg parlay maybe over at MGM with Calcaterra. I kind of want to do that. So let's go with maybe Calcaterra, Jovic, and then maybe Anthony Black here. And again, we're just taking some of the top plays, utilizing the one-click bet feature, seeing if it loads up. Cool. All right. Let's come back over here. And then all I do, guys, is just kind of go slow with it because sometimes the picks don't come over as quick. But I'm hoping that everything kind of just gets added to the slip here with the one-click bet features. You can see we're slowly adding it, and then I just got to close a window and reopen it again. And then maybe Anthony Black over on his points, rebounds, and assists. Bingo. All right, there we go. So once I get this gold spinny wheel to stop, as we can see, if I add this over to my bet tracker while I'm waiting for MGM to kind of give me the go-ahead, we're getting great prices over at Pinnacle, which I'm all about. We're getting the under over here. Looks like they might have just changed the odds, the minus 140 on Jovic. So I'm not going to add that. I'm going to remove it from the slip. But Calcaterra, like that. I like that a lot, especially for football. And guys, my opinions on who's sharp and who's not sharp sometimes just depends on the sport that we're talking about. So this is going to be over here on MGM. So we're going to remove a couple. Yeah, we can continue here. I know we're good. We'll remove Lamar. We're going to remove Jovic. So now we got a 2-leg parlay at plus 260 odds, right? If I come all the way back up here to the top again, you're going to notice that we're getting the best price possible over at MGM compared to any other sports book, right? So maybe if I wanted to throw $200 on this parlay, we're getting paid out a lot more money over at MGM than we are at Fliff. So we'll come over here. I'll throw this up for plus 260, and we'll try to go for $200. And there we go. We're in for $200 on this 2-leg parlay. And this pays out. We'll get paid out about $720 in profit, or $720 total, so $520 in profit. I'm in on that. Hell yeah. All right, so there we go. Let me go back over the optimizer, guys, so you guys can see a little bit more value for PrizePicks and Underdog before we maybe call it a day today and I get back to watching. I'm excited to watch some football. Dude, I am pumped. I'm going to make sure I go out, maybe get myself, maybe order some good, maybe a little Chipotle, a little Uber Eats. Not sure what we're going to do. Just kind of kick back, relax, and enjoy Sunday. As we're looking at PrizePicks right now, 5 and 6 pick entries. If you guys can't stand fantasy scores, all you got to do is come over here, click select all. I'll just type in fantasy, and then we'll just deselect it. Click apply, and then that's going to remove all the fantasy score, or it should have removed all the fantasy scores. I love it when it doesn't work. Love it when it doesn't work. Yeah. Can we get this again, maybe? All right, so the OGM formula doesn't want to work for me with Kawhi. Whatever. Move on. Paulo over on his rebounds and assists. If you want to add Kawhi, Brook Lopez, and Wendell Carter, that's fine by me. It just depends on what you prefer. But Paulo, Caps, Keegan Murray, James Cook. Maybe not Keegan Murray. James Cook, Josh Allen, Svitola. I'm in on all these. I like these, especially like a Dalton Kincaid. Some of the books have this, man. MGM has this at 2.5. Interesting. The over 3 right here on Kincaid can get behind this. So these would be some of the top prize pick entries right here. All right, let me head over to the Underdog site right now. Let's take a look at Underdog too. Oh, Octane, I appreciate the kind words, bro. Thank you so much. All right, Underdog 6 pick entries. All right. Sancho, yeah. I like this. All right. Yeah, I mean, there's the problem is here with just some of the Underdog plays on 6 picks. Not a lot of options. Not a lot at all. All right. All right, let's go over to Betr. Let's take a look at Betr. Betr 5 pick slip. No insurance. Yeah, there's 5 picks right here. I'd rock with this. Thomas, Zalatoris, Levine. Yeah, I'm all good with this. I mean, I'm not. Kyron's an automatic touchdown machine, so I hate betting on his unders, but sometimes it does happen. I can get down with this for 5 pick entries. And let's head over to Parlay Play. Let's head over to Dabble. Appreciate you guys stopping by the stream. I hope you guys are having an awesome Sunday today. Hope all your bets cash for you. Hope you have a wonderful day, man. Just crushing the books. Again, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out, ask me, DM me. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can because, I mean, you can make really awesome money utilizing the software. OGM software 3.5 years ago for me changed everything. And so don't be afraid to ask questions. Or you guys send me screenshots sometimes, want to get my 2 cents or opinion on what I would do in a situation. Don't be afraid to ask. Dabble 5 pick entries with no insurance. I appreciate you guys stopping by in the chat, man. Positive comments, negative comments. It's all positive to me, baby. I appreciate you guys coming by, chatting it up, having a little bit. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, 5 pick entries on Dabble. This is all right. I'm excited when I go down to Florida, man. I can't wait to jump into Dabble. Might blow the entire bankroll just kind of going through and making a bunch of different slips. I love it. Love it. Puka Sally says over 124 receiving yards might be a shout out on FanDuel Arb to Circa Pinnacle plus 4-4. Ooh, dude, I might have to take a look at that. Okay, I might have to take a look at that real quick right before we head it off. Sally, you're always awesome, dude, giving me some really solid plays, so we'll take a look at it. We'll look at this Rams game really quick. So this is going to be a little bit above and beyond. Omar's OGM weather with Florida arena states. I mean, I think it is, Omar. I mean, I think the optimizer would really serve you well because you're going to be able to use the DFS books. I understand the Hard Rock's down there in Florida, but you're going to be able to use Dabble and Fliff and Rebet. And I think for the price point where it's at, that would really be easy on your wallet. So if nothing else, man, just give it a trial for free to see if you like it. So 24.5 receiving yards. I mean, Puka could literally. He didn't have a great game last week, but the dude, he's got it in him. He could go off. So basically for him to get 125 receiving yards, we'll scroll all the way down here and I'll take a look. I got to make sure that the books, though, come down with me when we're looking at this. So let's refresh this once more. Where the hell's he at? I already passed them up. Stay hot, Billy. There we go. All right, show alternate lines. This is where I love to come down here. Take a look. We're looking for what? The 124.5? Dude, yeah. So this is almost an Arb to Circa. We're looking at FanDuel right here for Puka to get. I don't mind a little sprinkle on this. I mean, you're just getting a great price. Not a lot of other books have this priced, but this is almost an arb to circle, which I can kind of get behind a bit for sure. Let's see if I'm still logged in. Yeah, let's do a little sprinkle on this. I'm logged out. All right, I'll get this up after the stream. I'll smash this. But guys, that's where I'm going to call it for today. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, have questions, reach out, ask me. I'm streaming on my personal YouTube channel tomorrow. So if you want to come by and troll me or you want to come by and learn about sports betting, stop by. And then I'm on the OGM channel tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, smashing a bunch of NBA player prop bets. I'm definitely going to be hitting up this Puka place for Saturday. I appreciate the pick, bro. But guys, have an awesome Sunday. Rest, relax, enjoy. And if nothing else, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care.